pattern uses a super bulky yarn. It's a weight heavier than bulky yarn. 6mm hook. You also need a tapestry needle to sew in, and you need 2 buttons as well. You can use any buttons you like as long as they will fit through the space for the headband. So it's working in back and forth row. We have just 9 rows, so this is very quick and easy. This is a quick pattern to do, right? Okay, we're going to start with a chain of 88. This is for the child's size. There is the adult size and the teen size as well. So you want to check the written pattern to note the slight differences in the pattern, especially on row 2. Okay, so chain 58 for the child size, and skip the first chain. In the second chain from hook, I just like to work in the back bump. You can just go directly into the chain as well. This is just preference. I kind of like the neater edge here whenever I make headbands. Alright, so single crochet into the second chain from hook, single crochet into the next chain as well. Now we're going to make half double crochet stitches into each of the chains across, except the last 2 chains. In those last 2 chains, we're going to make 2 single crochet stitches. Now on our last 2 chains, single crochet and single crochet. So 2 single crochets at the beginning, 2 single crochets at the end. Now chain 1, turn. Into the first stitch, we're going to make a slip stitch. This slip stitch counts as a stitch, and you want to try and make your slip stitches a bit loose, not too loose, not too tight, you know, because when we come back we're going to work into the slip stitch. So slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch. If this is going to be confusing for you, you can place a stitch marker into the slip stitches. Chain 2, skip 1, 2 stitches. Now single crochet in 3 stitches. Alright, now in the next stitch, double crochet. In the next stitch, double crochet. In the next stitch, double crochet. So we have 3 single crochets, and then we have 3 double crochets. In the next 5 stitches, we will make 5 single crochet stitches. 2, 3, 4, and 5. In the next 3 stitches, we will make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what we're doing here is creating a wave. We have 3 double crochet stitches, 5 single crochet stitches, 3 double crochet stitches. So we're going to replicate this. The next will be 5 single crochet stitches, and the next 3 double crochet stitches, and 5 single crochet stitches, and 3 double crochet stitches. We're going to repeat that across the row until we have 2 stitches left. In these 2 stitches, we're going to make slip stitches. So go ahead and repeat again, 5 single crochet stitches, 3 double crochet stitches across the row. At the end of the row, slip stitch, and slip stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Okay, we're going to slip stitch again into this slip stitch. Slip stitch. You want to slip stitch under both loops, not too tight, not too loose, and slip stitch in the first stitch and in the next stitch. Okay, so we're going to replicate what we've done on row 2. So that means we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches, 3 double crochet stitches. 5 single crochets, 3 double crochets. So we're just stacking the stitches on top. We're going to repeat that across up till our chain 2 space here. Yeah, single crochet. Now I'm going to make double crochet stitches, but just to be sure, 1 2 3 4 5. Now 3 double crochet stitches. Okay, I'm going to repeat that across. Alright, at this point where we have our chain 2, we will make 2 single crochets into the space right there. And we will finish with our slip stitch just like we did at the beginning. Chain 1, turn. Single crochet into the first stitch, puff into the next stitch. So our puff is like we want to make 2 half double crochet puff stitches. I want to make a half double crochet, but we don't complete it. And I yarn over again and go into the same stitch. Yarn over and pull out a loop. Okay. Yep, that's my puff. And single crochet. So that is single crochet, puff stitch, single crochet, puff stitch, single crochet, puff stitch. I'm going to repeat that across the row except the last 5 rows. So puff stitch, except the last 5 stitches. Sorry, I keep mixing these things up. Okay, so single crochet into the next stitch, puff, 2 HDC puff into the next. Alright, so repeat that across the row except the last 5 stitches. And please take note, this pattern, this tutorial is for child size, so instructions might be a bit different in the teen and adult sizes. Alright, here we are. So the last stitch we're going to make before the last 5 stitches is the puff stitch. Okay, into the next stitch we make a single crochet. Into the next stitch we make a half double crochet. Single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch. Now these are our slip stitches, so they're a bit tight. See, this is why I said to not make the slip stitches tight. And yeah, okay. And finally, a single crochet into the last slip stitch on the row. Great, chain 1, turn. So we have row 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're on track. So chain 1, turn. The next row 5, single crochet into the first stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. In the rest of these stitches, we're going to make half double crochet stitches, just like we did on row 1. So half double crochet into each of the stitches across except the last 2 stitches. In the last 2 stitches, we will make 2 single crochet stitches. A little explanation in case you're wondering about using shorter stitches at the beginning of the rows, like single crochet here, slip stitch, and single crochet, and the rest are a bit taller. That's because of shaping. When we do this, we're shaping this this side of the headband. So half double crochet across except last 2 stitches. And finish off with single crochet in last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row 6 is a repetition of row 4. So we will start with a single crochet stitch. Single crochet, puff stitch in the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, puff stitch, 2 half double crochet puff stitch in the next stitch. Alright, so we want to repeat that across the row, just like we did on row 4. Finish off the same way. Alright, just like we finished off on row 4, we're going to do the same. So after my last puff stitch, single crochet, then half double crochet, single crochet, half double crochet, and single crochet. Now the reason why we are stopping our puff stitches, I mean a bit farther from the finishing line, is because we're going to sew buttons on here, so we don't want the puff stitches to, you know, interfere, so to speak. So that's why it's been done that way. Alright, row 7 is a repetition, so we're going to do these 2 rows again. So we have 1, 2, 3 more to go, 3 more rows and we're done. So we're going to replicate again what we've done on rows 2 and 3. So into the first stitch, make a slip stitch, remember, not too tight, not too loose. And in the next stitch, slip stitch. Okay, now 5 single crochets, and 3 double crochets. Alright, So 5 single crochets, 3 double crochets. We're going to repeat that across the row. And we'll finish off with slip stitch in the last 2 stitches, just the same way we began the row. Chain 1, turn. Okay, row 8. Slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 2, because we're creating the second loop for the second button. 1, 2, skip 2 stitches and single crochet in 3 stitches. Alright, so from this point you already know how many stitches you need to make each. So 3 double crochet stitches, 5 single crochet stitches, 3 double crochet stitches, 5 single crochet stitches. We're going to repeat that all the way to the end of the row, and in the last 2 stitches we'll make slip stitches. So go ahead and make 3 double crochet stitches and 5 single crochet stitches across the row. Slip stitch in the last 2 stitches. Chain 1, turn. This is the final row, and it's just going to be single crochet stitches and half double crochet. So into the first 2 stitches we'll have our single crochet, and single crochet. Into the remaining stitches we will have half double crochet, also make 2 half double crochet into the chain 2 space, and we'll finish off with 2 single crochet stitches. Once we complete the last row, we'll chain 1. We're going to trim the side, so chain 1, and into the next stitch row single crochet, and we have another tiny stitch row here. So what we want to do is make single crochets across the row. I'm going to repeat it for the other side as well. Join yarn into the bottom of the stitch right there. Chain 1 and start making single crochet stitches into the stitch rows. into the last stitch row. Once that's all done, slip yarn and weaving tails. Now it's time to sew the button, which will be on this side, because we have the loops on this side. I'm just going to align them right here, just at the tip, close to the edge, and right on the same line as the puff stitch row. I'm using an embroidery thread because I prefer to use this because they're thicker than the regular sewing threads. Okay, I'm going to tie it off here. I'm done. And sew the second button. And we are done. So, the first time you wear this headband, you might find it a bit snug. What you can do is to stretch it, just, you know, that's it, and that's it. So you want to just stretch it a bit. You just stretch it with your hand, stretch it out, and you know, and you might not even need to do that because as you wear the headband, it's going to stretch out on its own. So thank you for joining this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the written pattern for the other sizes, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.